I can't send news to come tomorrow.
Definitely,
That doesn't work that way either, sir.
Oh, yes, I do.
I think
You
they
know
have
who I
to
am.
let me have
And
the
I
proof
talked
that he
to
had a
Daniel
bank
J.
account in.
Slaughter Jr.
Okay, well, you...
Go for it. 2359.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Patrol Vlog, Season 3, Episode 4. If you guys are new here, make sure you are following me on Instagram for updates in between the actual YouTube videos like this. And if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. Guys, the call we are headed to right now is a civil matter. It is in reference to the complainant calling because the rent-a-center that they rented their tires and wheels from were there trying to repossess the tires that they were behind in payments on. The conversation you're about to hear is what ensues, and it's another person who knows the law better than me.
No, my mom did.
Okay.
The guy actually left.
Okay.
Here's the deal. He had a contract of buying the tires and rims for R&R.
Okay.
As of January 5th, he paid the last $500 they owed. Now they're trying to say he owes $1,000 more. Well, we got the contract and everything there. The rims are completely paid off.
Okay.
They're saying he still owes on the tires.
All right.
Well, the guy that was here, I said, you cannot take those. I said, one, if you put it on blocks, that's a felony. If you take the tires and rims, we own the rims, that's a felony theft. I said, I will have you arrested.
Okay.
I said, you better stop what you're doing and call your people. Well, he just made another payment. Why, I don't know. Just to keep them from taking them. I don't know. They owe us money is what it is. Because we've paid.
Right now.
They're completely paid off. But the guy keeps trying to take them.
Okay.
I will.
I'm
And
sure
we
they have a different side to this, because obviously they wouldn't
Oh, of
send
course.
them out, if they
We
did.
have a lawyer looking at all the paperwork.
Okay.
I have legal shield,
All right,
and
let me
I
get
have
off here.
the lawyer looking at all the paperwork on it.
Okay.
So until then, they're not taking nothing.
All right. Well, if, here again, that's, one of those things, it's a civil issue,
Yeah.
okay? If they are claiming that they still have an unpaid balance on the tires and that's their property, then by law they are allowed to recover their property, okay?
Technically, you're right, but they're on our rims. They take our rims, that's felony theft.
Not if they just break them down and bring them back.
Nope.
No, they said I would have to go get him.
Okay.
That's felony theft.
All right. It's not, but
I already talked to a lawyer. I mean,
okay.
I'm not dumb.
Okay, I'm not saying you're dumb, but just like anybody, if you get your car repossessed, right, and you have a laptop in there, you can't charge the impound company or the tow company for felony theft for the laptop that was in your car when your car got
Okay.
repossessed. All
Thank
right.
you for your time. We're done here.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. I'm glad. I appreciate you coming out. but
Okay. What?
We're done.
You don't agree with that, or?
We're just gonna.
We're just going to
Okay.
get a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're done.
I'm just letting you know, if they come back and they call us
Sure,
to
that's fine.
repossess their stuff, I'm
That's
going
fine.
to assist them.
No problem.
All right? All right. Have a great night.
Hey everyone, so welcome back. What did you think of that first call? This reminds me of a call a while back where they helped the lady get her wedding dress back, and the lady on the phone explained to me what the law was. I love these people so much because I really wonder where they come up with this information. You saw I put on the screen, one of the first things she tells me is if they came and put her car on blocks, that's a felony. I'm not exactly sure why. Part of me wanted to ask her that, but I also didn't want to get into it with her. And then she continued further on, as you saw. And then I tried to give an example of why her scenario was not going to be a felony, why that was not accurate. And you saw how quickly she just ended our contact at that point. She had no argument. She realized it was the same situation, and that's why she said, okay, thank you, we're done, and got rid of me at that time. So she has her prepaid LegalZoom lawyer on retainer, so I'll let him handle the situation overall. But I'm curious, what do you guys think of that situation? Funny enough, this is the second, if not third situation I have run into over the course of my career with people not paying their rent to own payment on tires and rims. And the first time, just like this time, something you couldn't hear in the video was they made the payment. Even though she was telling me that they were charging her extra money, they were very quick to make the payment. And that's why the guy actually left and didn't repossess the tires. You know, it's kind of one of those things. If you can't afford your rims and tires and you have to go to, you know, basically the buddy buy right of rims and tires, maybe you should just leave your stock rims and tires on there for a little while longer. Anyway, that was that call. Simple issue, civil matter, which again, we weren't really going to get involved in too much unless the guy had been there to repossess the property. And if he had his contract, like the first one I went to years ago where they have their contract, we would have stood by for what we call to keep the peace and allowed him to do it and not let the people get in the way of them doing their job. Now, I'm sure someone's going to argue with me in here that no, they're not allowed to do that, so on and so forth. Oh, if they took the rims, it is theft. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I haven't read the contract, but I'm going to say there's about a 99.5% chance that in the wording of that contract, it says if you default on your loan that they reserve the right to repossess their property, including whatever rims the tires are currently on. Now, again, you have to remember, they're not permanently depriving these people of their property. They are taking them to get their tires off and then returning the property back to them or allowing them to come pick them up, which is what the guy said in this video, that they would have to go get them. So they're not actually stealing it from the people. So I'm sure you're going to get some people who would argue other ways, but again, at the end of the day, that's a civil matter for them to handle. And if they want to sue them afterwards, that's fine, but we wouldn't be criminally charging anybody with grand theft for putting their truck on block. So obviously, as always, I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this call in the comments down below. All right, so from my last video, I asked you guys about the length, and same thing. Most of you guys are 50-50 either way, but I had a lot of you say, we want half-hour videos, we would make them as long as you want. Well, I'm not doing this on purpose because of that. However, the next call that's going to be in this video is, I think, a little over 20 minutes long. I'll probably cut out a few parts here and there, but I'm gonna try and leave the majority of the call in its entirety here in the video so you guys can watch the back and forth. The real quick rundown of this is this lady is at a Chase bank. She is mad because her stimulus check was somehow direct deposited into her ex-husband's bank account, who is now deceased. However, she was not on any of the paperwork. She is not an account holder or anything like that. And they took the debit card from her, which was in the deceased ex-husband's name, and obviously will not give her the money. So this is the back and forth, and I want you to pay close attention to this couple because you're going to see them again soon in the vlogs.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, that's great. But I hate to wake up like this.
What's going
She
on?
works out for money. Her husband passed away. She's trying to get a stimulus check.
Okay.
And
The stimulus check is on my name.
Yeah.
And I asked them to
They took out
send it
credit
back to the IRS. They refused. They were taking the card from her husband. That's my last proof that he had a bank account here.
Here's the paperwork.
Okay, so was it a direct deposit stimulus check?
Yes. And I want to
Okay.
have this simple money. That is all.
That's the
Okay.
paperwork right here. Death certificate.
Okay, I don't think.
I have marriage license.
And the IRS is on my name and not on Leroy's name.
Okay, so this is your husband,
Ex-husband.
your ex-husband?
Yes.
Ex-husband, not my deceased husband.
Oh, okay.
Deceased.
I am the widow.
And Detective Jones is a good friend of mine.
Okay, what did they tell you?
They took the card from
They
her.
don't want to send it back to the IRS. They don't want to give me the money.
Okay.
And I said, that is a theft.
Are you the heir to all this stuff?
Yes.
Is there a will and everything's coming?
No, nothing.
Okay. Well,
but I'm still his wife. I have
right.
the marriage
You can
license.
take that back. I don't want to drop it and lose it in the wind.
And,
Thank you, Mr.
and
Lawson.
TSC, the IRS was a sliding port reporter and not bureau
Okay.
reporter.
Okay, so the bank has a process where it's for security reasons. They're not going to dish out money in someone else's bank account when, like, he's not
I
obviously
was
here.
showing my
And I get you
ID.
have the proof, but there's channels that you need to handle with them to get access to the money. Did
No,
they
they want me to pay $278.
to open up a new account or something?
No,
Or what?
I have to go to court and get something to get my stimulus check.
They want you to go to court to...
The court building.
Right. You're going to have to go through
Right.
probate, is
Yeah,
what
but
it's
that one
called.
is costing me $278. I
Right.
don't have.
I mean, there's no other options.
That
You
is
can-
not right,
to
sir. That
legally
is
get
my
the-
money.
I have
The
Channel
IRS is
10
stating
news.
You want it back out? Here. Yeah.
To legally get the money, it's...
Yeah,
It's the
but it's our
process.
money.
Right, right, I get that. And the situation obviously is not...
I'm shaking.
It's not
My
fun.
legs are too hard.
It's rough. But to legally do that and to get access to the money, that's
But,
not going to happen.
but can you please write down the credit card so that I have somewhere proof that my husband had a bank account here?
Do you not have bank statements or documents
no.
at the house?
They took
No.
They took his credit
No,
card.
not that.
Does he still get mail to the house that says
Yes.
Chase bank account
No.
information or
No,
anything?
nothing.
Why not?
Because he didn't do it with bank account statements.
How did he do
I
it?
have nothing.
Did he
I
go
need a copy
paperless
of
or
that.
something?
No. I need this card. This card shows that he had an account here.
Okay.
Means if they are destroying this card, they destroy my right to get the money.
No, that's not true.
I don't know. Our Channel 10 news is coming tomorrow.
Definitely,
That doesn't work that way either, sir.
Oh, yes, I do.
I think
You
they
know
have
who I
to
am.
let me have
And
the
I
proof
talked
that he
to
had a
Daniel
bank
J.
account here.
Slaughter Jr.
Okay. Well, you could easily
that's
say
not gonna
that
change
you
anything.
that you found that debit card somewhere.
No.
I get that. I know. But there's no other proof that you have an account here.
He's got a
Right.
certificate of death.
That has nothing to do with Chase
No,
Bank, though.
no.
That's the thing.
It is that account, that it is related to that account. That is where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And I need a copy of that card. Only a copy so that I can tell everybody.
Right.
Only in case they don't give me the money,
They're not going to provide that.
but they will write you the number and you can write it into your report.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Please. So they.
We will go talk. We're gonna go talk to them.
Please.
We're gonna go
We're gonna
talk to
figure
them.
out-
Let
Okay.
them handle it.
Okay.
All right.
Like I
Just go ahead
said.
and hang out here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
How are you?
Good, how are you? So they were obviously here giving issues. Who was dealing with it?
I was actually with Danny initially. My name is Lily, the branch manager
Okay.
here. This is Corinne, my banker.
Hi.
Okay.
So she came in to notify that her husband had passed away. I believe that's what the situation was.
Yes.
So
Yep.
she brought the death certificate. There is actually policies, procedures that we have to follow.
Right.
Corinne let her know what the process is needed. She need to get the letters of administration. When she came in to show that her husband have an account, she gave her the debit card from her husband. Once we get that debit card, we cannot
Give
give
it
it
up.
back to her
Right.
because it does not belong to her.
Right.
And he's deceased.
Right.
Okay, so we let her know that we couldn't give it back to her, and she's extremely upset.
Yeah.
She said that I guess that she got the tax refund or the
Some kind of I guess the stimulus payment they
Yeah.
had directed to his account instead of
Hers.
her, if she even has one, I don't know.
Okay.
But basically, yeah, his stimulus payment was directed to this account. So, but it was directed after he passed.
Right.
So, which she failed to report him deceased back in November when he passed away.
Okay.
So the account's just been chilling for
Months.
months and months and months
Okay.
now.
So we let her know that we don't deny from those funds for her to gain access to the funds,
Right.
but she does need to comply to what is expected, you
Right.
know, because we have to follow procedures.
Right. Right.
She need to bring the letters of administration.
Yep.
Once she bring it in, we can go ahead and process that. I believe it's like a 1 business day or something like that for them to go ahead and release for everything to be done.
Yeah.
So that she can have access to her money.
And it's a sole owned account. There's no beneficiaries. There's no joint signers. It's just him. So
Okay.
the deceased party is the only owner of the account, and there's no other access to it.
Okay.
And that's fine. We already kind of explained that to her. She just doesn't want to hear it right now. And I don't know who the other goofball is that's with her.
He called in and was like, "We're heading to the branch," and I was like, "I can't speak to you on behalf of anyone
Right,
who's dealing for somebody else." And
and I don't know who he was. He went storming out and then was like,
Oh, he's
ripping on
already
our
said
front
he's
door
going to
and-
call Channel 10 and he's going to call the
He
chief.
told
And I
us
was
he's
like,
a financial advisor.
yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, saying that he's gonna call the news, that he's gonna call the
Yeah,
lawyer,
that's
that he's gonna
fine.
do everything.
So let me ask you this, because one of her concerns is now, and we already told her, like, look, there's a process. You have to go through probate, or what you said, everything. Her fear is right now is she thinks by you guys taking that card that was the sole proof that she has
I
that
told her
he
that.
had an account here. And I asked, I said, you don't have any bank statements at the house? She says, no, he didn't get them. And so I don't know if he did all this stuff online or what, but basically she's saying she has nothing other than that card to prove that he had an account here. Like, she thinks it's going to just disappear,
We told her, we said just because it doesn't mean that we won't help her ever again, just because we have to get rid of the debit card, her coming in with the death certificate and us instructing her what she needs, is,
Right.
That's
Enough.
enough.
Right.
And then just to add it to what Corinne is saying right there, once she brings the death certificate, it does have the social security number for the client. So when she comes in, she has the original, okay? So any branch, not only this one, but any branch that she goes to, she presents that out there, and in fact, they're gonna find out that Corinne actually did her job, and she did what it needed to be done to
Right.
start the process. So
Right.
it's just that she doesn't wanna listen right now.
Right.
And I say it to her, I'm really sorry that I don't say what you expect me to say, but this is what I can tell you.
Right.
She's concerned about the $600 that she received from the IRS. So
Her thing is she's saying, I don't have any money right now, and I don't have the $278 or whatever the fee is to do the legal process to come back and get the money. And I said, that's
Yeah, she's
unfortunate, but it's just,
Like Lily said, she has to take it up with the IRS.
Yeah.
They put money directed to her into somebody's account that doesn't even have her name on
Right.
it, not even in the status of a beneficiary. So
Right.
she's going to have to take that up with them. Unfortunately, no one
Okay.
wants to talk to them, but
Yeah.
it's
We'll try to push the point back across to them as long as they're out of here for the day and not giving you guys a hard time.
yeah. Our concern is they're just lingering around and we need to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Go home.
Oh, yeah,
And I
no,
don't
we'll have
leave
them
them
leave.
to see what we drive,
Yeah.
They see what we're driving,
Yeah, just hang out for a
I
few
have
minutes.
seen it-
We'll get them out of here
Yeah,
before you
I've
guys
seen it
leave.
in the past that people go scratch cars, that they do crazy
Right.
things, anything can be a weapon. I always say that to my employees, and I try to protect them from that.
Yep.
So
Right.
my responsibility is making sure that, for them to feel like they are safe,
Right.
and at this point, I don't feel that we are safe
Right.
at all.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
just give us a couple minutes. We're going to try to get through to them and get them out of here.
Did you give her anything in writing that says what it is she needs to get? So, like, she's clear, like, when she goes to the courthouse, like, hey, this is what I need to do.
I would have been more than happy to write her down that she needs letters of administration as per Florida policy, but
Okay.
she was pounding on my desk and screaming at us.
Is
so.
there any chance I could bug you to just jot that down for me, whatever the official term is that it is that she
Yeah.
needs to accomplish?
Yeah.
That way I can hand it to her and say,
We
listen.
already have the death certificate, so we would ask for the death certificate. We already have that. That's on
Okay.
file now with us, and then she just needs letters of administration.
Letters of administration.
And we don't even keep the copy of the certificate in
Yeah,
here.
we give it right
because
back to
we
them.
give it back to her, so
Okay.
we don't even keep the copy.
Right.
We just scan it to the Chase for the privacy, and it's already electronic.
It's exactly what
copy.
you said. She has to go through probate.
Yeah.
So she
Okay.
gets issued letters of
All right,
administration.
then that's fine.
Got it.
All right, fair enough.
Then
Out of curiosity, I didn't even ask them or look. Do they have the same last name? Were they like definitely like legally married, or as best
She
you could tell?
has the name Porter on her license. His last name is Porter.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
And she gave me a copy of their marriage certificate, which I did submit with the death certificate.
Okay.
on the back.
Sorry, I'll let you try and deal with this.
Watch out, 10 minutes.
That's
Okay,
fine.
that's fine. Okay.
Sorry for
So as it was explained previously to you, you need to go get a letter of administration, okay, to get this up. You're not a beneficiary on his account. They're not going to release funds to someone who's not on the account. Does that make sense? And he's
No, it
deceased.
doesn't make sense to me, and I will tell you why. Because the IRS was writing Uter Porter and not real Porter.
Okay. Well, if there's an issue on the IRS's side of things, you need to call the IRS. Maybe they can pull those funds out and push them into some other account that you have.
I was calling the IRS, and the IRS said they have to send it back, and they refuse.
Okay. Well, that's nothing that Chase is doing here. Okay. For you to get the funds, all you need to do is bring that letter of administration.
Yeah.
They've already got everything on file. All
Right.
you need to do is that piece of paper, and you'll get the
That
funds.
is $278 out of 600.
I just paid
Okay.
this car off.
Okay, that means because I am a wife of a veteran, I have to pay $278 for the readers to
They're just not going to give discounts to do the legal channels.
Every person in the world who goes through somebody passing away has to do this. It's not anything special agagst you. It's just part of the way that it works.
They received the money for auto quarter, not Leroy quarter.
But they don't. You have to understand. They don't know that money that's direct deposited through an account doesn't have a name attached to it. Just $600 and whatever shows up in an account, and the balance goes up.
Yeah,
so like they
it's
even
totally
said
different.
the fact that you had money that was supposed to be in your name sent to somebody else's account that's not in your name is actually a violation. They said if they had known that, like you could get in trouble for that. So the fact of the matter is at the end of the day, we're still in the same place, right? I mean, you can get it. They said we have no problem releasing it. Like nothing's going to go away, nothing's going to disappear.
But I don't have a proof that he had in the car.
They have it here. She said
what they say. And in case of work,
his name has an account here with funds in it. At the end of the day, you have a death certificate. They have a death certificate. You just have to come in with a piece of paper saying that you have inherited his stuff.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, so we have to go do that. We have immigration. Spring
no,
immigration.
I will call the IRS. They have to get the money out of you. That's the easiest way.
I'm ready to have a fucking seizure.
Let me just stand with him for a second. I'm just going to ask that question to see what the answer is about. Hi, I'm sorry to bug you with this. The one last thing I want to try to like square away for her that she's saying is, I guess, because we talked about the IRS side of it, like you need to call the IRS if they sent the money where it wasn't supposed to go, whatever. And she said that she did call the IRS and that they said the bank needs to basically, if the bank were to release the money and send it back to them, then they can reissue it to her or an account or whatever she's supposed to do. Does that sound like anything you've ever heard of, or is that even an option?
I mean, we could like reach out through like the back office department. I can see if they could just take the funds and throw it back at the IRS. You know, that's basically all I can do.
Okay.
Like, on that end, but that just, you know, we just fill out a form and send it to them and see if they could take a look at sending the funds back.
Okay.
That's the only thing that we could do on our side.
No, that's fine. If that's possibly an option.
I can't tell you what they will or will not do, just because he's deceased. So I have no idea what their policy is in back office and what they do for us regarding those things. I have no idea.
Let me ask you this. This is what I told her, and maybe I spoke out of turn, but when you guys get money like that, right, like this direct deposit or whatever, is it attached to a name, or is it just like all of a sudden his balance went up $600?
So we don't generally accept things in other people's names. So
okay.
I don't know the mishandle there.
All right.
How it was sent or who it was sent.
Through what you have access to and in this process, like were you able to see, was that money in fact in her name the way she's saying, or do we?
I can take a check and look at it to see if there's a name attached to it. I can't guarantee that there is though.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of jargon and computers. We can see though. I can see if it was issued in just her name and see if it was something like that. I can't make guarantees, but
no. Can you maybe do me a favor? Like, let's say you look into that, you find out, oh, and hey, we actually can send it back. Then you could I'll tell her like, hey, if they can do that and figure it out, someone here will just give you a call and say, hey, we did it. Like somebody could just call her by phone and.
Yeah, I don't have her information though. She's not client. But if you want to her number or anything like that, that's fine.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll grab it real quick.
Exactly.
So what they're gonna also do is look and see if they can basically track down whether there's any sort of name attached to that deposit, right?
Okay.
And if they can prove, like again, if it's not just numbers or whatever, but if they could prove that like your name was on it and it was sent to them, she's saying like, well, if that's the case, she's like, the bank should have never accepted it in the first place, right? So they're gonna look into that. If they can do that and find that out, then they can send it back to the IRS. Okay.
It would be awesome.
So
that's what I was asking.
She said there's obviously no guarantees, but they are going to look into that on the clerical side of their stuff. And if they can just do it that way, they'll do it, and someone will call you and let you know.
All
right?
I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Be safe.
Thank you. That's her name and her contact number. So if there's anything that comes of that, and you guys could just give her a shout, be like, hey, we were able to do this then.
I can let you right now. I just checked. There's no name attached to it. It just says IRS tax, blah, 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 whatever, stimulus, 600.
Okay.
Back office might have something else on their hand. I can still reach out to them and see it. But
If you don't mind, just anything I can tell them to kind of quell the issue and move them along. Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So just a quick update. She said on their level, just like a branch level, it does not have a name. It just has tax return and it has like the ID number. She said their back office, like at corporate, might have more of that information, so they are still going to reach out to them and see if they can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys.
Was
Be
just
safe.
telling me on the phone that it's your money, they have to send it back.
Right. And again, you have to remember on the like a legality side of it, they have to be able to prove that it was your money. And that's what they're trying to do. They can't just release $600 and on your word.
No, I had the letter along. I had it proof.
You have a letter that says you got $600, but what they have to do is they have to prove that the $600 that was automatically deposited in there is that $600.
Yeah.
If they can't prove that, then they're back to like, well, we have this guy's money, technically, it's in his account, we can't release that. So you can get this resolved. It's just going to be whichever way. If they can figure out the name, then great. They'll just release it back to the IRS. You can move on. The other way is to do what you have to do for probate, and then you have access to anything, his whole account, the whole 9 yards. So that's just unfortunately the way the legal thing is set up.
All right, Buddha, let's go. You got to get the car detailed. You worked 13 hours last night.
Have a good one.
All right, be safe.
Take care.
All right, you guys, so what did you think of that call? Here again, this is another civil matter between the bank and these people, yet the police are often called to these things as mediators, and we have to keep the peace and be that back and forth sounding board between the two people to make sure things don't get out of hand. And so that's what I did in this situation. I'm sure you could see from the video, the guy who is with this woman, who has no relation to her whatsoever, I kind of think he's like the new boyfriend or something, was very outspoken and would talk over the woman and wanted to take charge. And you heard him say he was going to call Channel 10. And then the next thing he says, I'll call Daniel J. Slaughter Jr., which is our chief of police. People like that, he started to get under my skin a little bit, but you have to try and ignore them. They're just they're background noise. And he actually had no standing or weight in this call whatsoever. We didn't even have to speak to him because it didn't concern him at all. Tried to explain everything as simply and as clear as possible to move them along, and they obviously, like in the video, did move along, and that was fine. But as an update, prior to filming this, they were actually back at that bank 2 more times, and I believe the bank tried to get them officially trespassed because she still has not completed the paperwork. She still has not done the legal process, but yet keep showing up there thinking that they're going to hand over her $600 stimulus check that got direct deposited into her dead ex-husband's account. These are the people that we deal with time and time again, frequent flyers. And like I said, stay tuned for one of the upcoming vlogs because you're going to see these people again. And this is an example of when we say you end up dealing with the same situations and the same people time and time again. Alright, everyone, I know this has probably gotten pretty long at this point, so I'm going to wrap this up and get out of here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again, as always, for all of your support. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It helps the video, gets it out to other people so they can see content like this. If you're new here, like I said early in the video, hit that subscribe button so you're around for the notifications when I post new videos. And if you have any comments or suggestions, as always, leave them down below. I always enjoy hearing from you guys and seeing the interaction. All right, everyone, until the next video, I want you guys to take really good care of yourselves and stay safe out there.